Aloha, greetings and welcome back. So I was looking at my YouTube page the other day and I see that I have 100 videos here. Now the truth is that I have a lot more than 100. It's probably closer to 200. But I had a channel before this called Akan Journal. And Akan was the Mayan god of intoxicating drink. But then during COVID, I had written the book Tiki Triangle and I decided I want to start a new channel. And I just sort of migrated over. So between all the videos from there and all the ones that I tried to put on Lucchini, which was supposed to be more about mid-century mixology and cooking and entertaining, it's probably about 200. But you know what? I'm not going to reach another milestone for quite some time. So I'm going to call this my 101st episode, especially since the first one was just a test pilot anyway. And if you are interested in cooking, be sure to check out raveniteclub.com. Those are all the old school Italian recipes that I gathered from my family and friends, and that's really just to preserve the culture. You'll see some mixology there, not a lot, and sometimes I do duplicate these videos from other channels and put them here just because I think they're pertinent. But I wanted to do something special in honor of the 100th episode. And I'm going to have a contest, and it's completely free. There is no obligation whatsoever. I just want you to, in the comments section, name your favorite cocktail. Mai Tai, Manhattan, Martini, whatever it is, put it there. And if you don't use YouTube or you don't want to be on YouTube, tag me on Instagram at Tiki Triangle. And if you don't have a graphic of the cocktail, just take a picture of this graphic here and tag me on Instagram at Tiki Triangle or Twitter. And if you don't like any of those social media platforms, just email me, tiki@usa.com, and in the subject heading, just put your favorite cocktail. But what I'm going to do is when I hit 100 people that have sent me the cocktails that they like, I'm going to close off the contest, and I'm going to throw them into a fez, and I'm going to select one. And you don't have to give me your address or anything. Once I pick one out of the hat, I'm going to reach out to you, ask you for your address, and I'm going to mail you a set of these Double Rocks Mai Tai glasses. One's in black, one's in brown. You could have 2 blacks, 2 browns, or one of each, whatever you want. I'm even going to pay for the postage, which you know is about 20 bucks right now. Again, it's just something fun I wanted to do, to thank everybody for, sticking by me for these last 7 or 8 years and watching all my videos, and I just think it would be something fun to do. Now, my original idea was to make a cocktail from 100 years ago, and so I searched through one of my favorite apps, which is Cocktail by Martin Duderoff, and that's coming up in the next Exotica Modern magazine about some of his apps, but they were all Bacardi. It was something called a Bacardi cocktail, and it's just basically dry vermouth and Bacardi, and it doesn't sound all that appetizing, so I decided to do something fun, just to reflect a little bit. I am going to show you my very first Mixology episode from Akan Journal back in the year 2017. And it was kind of fun for me to see how things changed, how I've decorated the bar. I think I have a tan in this one, but I've lost some weight since then. I've obviously aged 7 or 8 years. And it's on one of my favorite cocktails, the Manhattan. And it's just simply how I like a Manhattan done and how it's done right. The Martini and the Manhattan have to be the simplest drinks in the world, but sometimes people just can't get them right. And they've been around for 100 years and people want to tinker with it and play with it. I don't know. This is the way I like it. So, sit back, relax, and watch this. And don't forget to enter the contest. Again, it's free, no obligation. If you already have a set of the glasses and you bought them, thank you. You can still enter the contest. Just tell me the name of the person you want to gift it to and I will send it to them directly. And of course, if you want a set of the glasses and you don't want to enter the contest, you could just go to the tikitriangle.com/store and buy them yourself direct. I'd appreciate it. Help support this channel. I don't make any money off this. I probably lose a lot of money, but it's a fun hobby, and I really ramped it up during COVID, and then I just kept it going. So let's have a Manhattan. Let's look at one of the very first episodes, a couple hundred videos back. Mahalo, cheers, see you next time. Thank you. Hello, I'm Justin. I'm your cocktail archaeologist for today. And you just saw that video where a gentleman at a wedding wanted to make the bride's signature cocktail. Manhattan was very, very important to them. And when I asked them to make one on video, so I can include it in her wedding video, you could see it just didn't turn out too well. So I'm going to recreate it here at home. And I just want to talk to you about the basics first, and that is your water. I know it's just ice, and you're going to mix with it. You're probably going to toss it out, but you know what? You really don't want your ice tasting like chlorine or any of that city water that comes out of the tap or the refrigerator. I mean, you just spent about $50 on this, another $20 on this. I mean, you could spend another dime for good bottled spring water. My favorite is Fred, because you could really use these flasks for, things to put in the refrigerator. They're flat if you go on a picnic or whatever. You don't have to refill it with alcohol. You could refill it with anything you like. I like this one, but again, please, no tap water. Next, we want to get our ice and use tongs if you're having guests. If it's yourself, you're home alone, you could grab it by your hand. I'm home alone right now, so you could use a mixing glass like this. You got to stir it more. It does get tedious. I'm just going to use this good old-fashioned cocktail shaker. My mother picked this up at a garage sale, believe it or not, and I doubt she paid more than $5 for it. And I go online and I see it's a 1930s German model, and I believe it's over $200. But just the way that this conducts the coolness and dilution of the alcohol is just really, really amazing. Their engineering back then was really fantastic. So we get a fresh, clean cocktail napkin. We get a nice, clean glass. And we want to pour in a jigger, which is 1.5 ounces or 45 milliliters of rye. The original Manhattan was made with rye. This is Hudson Manhattan rye. You could use the rye of your choice, but rye was made up in the northern part of the United States, whereas bourbon was used down south. You could use bourbon, doesn't matter, but the original was made with rye. So we're going to put 1.5 ounces of that in, one jigger. And then we are going to put in a little less than about 1/2 ounce of Punti Mess, which is sweet vermouth. Again, it should be 3 parts whiskey to 1 part sweet vermouth. I like to use Abbott's bitters because that's what the original Manhattan cocktail was made with. A couple dashes of that. Make sure you get a nice section on there so you don't get the bar all wet, and you just shake it. And you keep shaking it till it gets so cold you really can't handle it anymore, and you'll see how cold it gets so quickly. Put the strainer on there and pour. You don't want your cocktail cherries, and you're all set. And there's your Manhattan. You could want to get fancy, more luxurious, you could buy these Lujardos. These are expensive. That's about $2. This is about $15, but depends on what kind of party you're having. But again, I'm home. It's 5 o'clock. I'm getting ready to make dinner. These cherries work just fine. Perfect Manhattan. Cheers.
Isn't happy hour anytime?